Alrighty, Rainbow Brighty, this is the tutorial for this build that I promised. He's obviously with his battle mask on, and if you watch the first video, you know the battle mask comes off, and that first video was really just kind of like a hype video, but here, let me do a 360, because this might be the first time you're actually seeing this build, and if it is, and if you're not, and you're not interested in the tutorial, you can check out the first video where we just kind of go over this build. This is strictly going to be the tutorial, and we're going to start breaking them down ahorita, right now, ahorita? Yeah, not ahora? No, ahorita, yeah, right now, right? Okay, let me see. Let me try to decipher what's the best way to take them apart. So I'm going to remove the battle mask first. So let me just open these up and pop this whole contraption off. There we go, there we go, there we go. And I'll show you how to put this on later. But for now, let us get it out of the way. Yeah. All right, and you can kind of see over here, this is much easier to see, and he looks like he's in some type of like battle armor, right? And if you follow the channel, you know this is a, I mean, I didn't recycle this 100%, but there's a lot of stuff that I learned while I was playing and messing around with Crashbar and Scraphook and so on and so forth. Let me just take this entire bit out. So similar to, for those of you out there who own Shrapnel, I heard he's been hard to find, but I actually found a couple at Target. Shrapnel has ports on the back of his arm. You know what, let me just start. We're going to just Robocop him. I'm just going to fillet him right now. Filet mignon. All right. Let's start with this bit over here. This is just Trashmaster's body. Nothing special. You have the caboose kind of plugged in the back over here. The only additions are, I'm sorry. The only additions is we have the blade tires on the side, and we have crash bars. Did I call them crash bars? Trashmaster, I'm sorry. This guy is Trashmaster, but these orange bits, these pipes, those belong to Crashbar, and you need those because you need them to negotiate the port to port, and this is a post, and it's going to help you out over here, okay? And so that's how we prep the body. Take one Trashmaster, TM, and we have removed his legs. Caboose in the back, and boop, 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 boop. Okay. Now, this is how you make the arm, and it's going to be identical. This piece, dude, I'm so sorry. I keep putting it off camera. I got to make a habit to remind myself. It doesn't really matter where this hook piece goes, but it's just there for now. Okay, so in order to make this arm, you know, let's take this off. In order to make this arm, you need to have two of the same sides of the Crashbar. Scrap hook foot leg, you know, thing, because this is the shin, right? And yeah, so you take one of these and you take another one and you just plug it into the tire. Okay, and then you take the arm. I don't want to pull it out because I have a little piece of paper in there to tighten the fit, but you take that arm and you just plug it into the little shin area, right? You see that, right? And now, and then you're going to try to get this little panel to kind of like fit in there, because we're going to take that peg and then we're going to plug it in back there. Oh yeah, so what I was saying about shrapnel earlier, I think I finished my thought. That yeah, that shrapnel also has pegs, or excuse me, ports on the back of the shoulder rather than the side. And it lends to some fun designs. But yeah, so that's what the arm's going to look like. And you're going to do that for both sides. Right, so we talked about having the scrap hook foot, then getting that other scrap hook foot plugging into the tire, and then taking the arm and plugging it into the shin area. You know, I know this would probably go better. Like I think the video metrics will probably be better if I start with the robots, you know, not fully disassembled and putting them together. But I don't think I have it in my head yet to do it. I probably have to study them a little bit more. Maybe after this video, I'll be able to put up a short, but it would be incredibly, like, it would have to be really long. Okay. So you're going to take one of the Crashbar motorcycle bits, and you're just going to squeeze his hand on that. And you're going to, it actually kind of hugs the forearm of a scrap hook. And so you can just hang that there. You don't have to do it right now. You can actually do it later. In fact, why don't we do that later? Because I don't want it just hanging off. All right. Here's the leg. The leg's so cool. This is a scrap hook torso. We have the little shin covering right there. This in its entirety is the foot, the leg of the Trashmaster bot, and you just compress it, and then you just plug that in right there. That's really neat. That's really nice. like I said, the shin guard, and then, you know, the little side garbage truck appendage. And you're plugging those into those tires, and they're going to help this boy stand. Yeah, that's really, really important, and they're going to help him stand. And also, there's a pivot on the toe. Doesn't do too much in this mode, but there is a slight pivot there. Ankle tilt, so to speak. And that orange Crashbar connector is going to plug in here. But the fit is kind of loose, and so you're going to need a piece of paper if you really want it to hold up and, you know, stay the test of time, so to speak. Yeah, so I encourage you to put a piece of paper in there to tighten the grip. Otherwise, it's likely to fall off, even though actually that wasn't that bad. So you do that for both sides, right? Scrap hook torso, the compressed Trashmaster leg rolled up here, and then those truck appendages and the little exhaust, the chevron to help him stand. And then when you plug those in, then obviously he's going to look good, right? He's going to look good. But before we do all of that, I actually want to show you the battle mask and all that stuff. Okay, did I? Yeah, you may not. I mean, you don't know this, but right now inside, I'm so hyped about this build. I was like gushing all over it in the original video, and even as I'm talking to you right now, like I'm getting hype and like curse words are almost slipping out of my mouth. I have to compose myself. All right, so that's okay. Hold up. That's what it looks like right now. That's tight, right? Yeah, that's super tight. But now we're gonna give him the head crest and everything in order to make that. Excuse me. Yeah, see how loose that is? You need that piece of paper there. It's just not that deep. The connection is not that deep. And sorry for that screech. Rest in peace, Dustin Diamond. Crashbar torso, right? And then we have the legs, the thighs coming down, and then they will just plug in. It's like perfectly equidistant to this thing. And so you just plug those things in right there. It's perfectly spaced apart. Like this has to be. I mean, actually, I haven't seen Truckosaurus in the way it's made, but maybe it connects into those legs. Yeah, you know Truckosaurus, the one that Mark made, Marclonus. But yeah, so you just plug those into the legs. Then you have the head and you have the neck, and then you take the saddlebags and you plug them into the shoulders, and you bring them down, and then you plug them into the side of the forearms. And why that's important is because all of that to reveal these posts. Excuse me, I got to kind of burp, but it's not a real burp, so it's just like hanging around in my throat, choking me. That's really great. But these posts over here are going to plug into Trashmaster. All right. I'm just going to take the leg off right now. So after you've plugged that in, excuse me, after you've plugged that in, this is just hanging out in the back. And then because these are on the ports, you can actually pivot these. That's really cool, right? And so when you're not using this, you can just kind of push it back, and you can kind of compress it and make it look like you have some type of like samurai crest or something. And then if you want to bring it forward, yeah, you just open this up. You can open these up and just give it some clearance, accordion it down, and then you can close this up again too. And now he's kind of in this like battle mask mode. Yaw. I had it better earlier. Maybe, yeah, I like that. Yaw. But like I said, the legs are going to keep falling apart, and I don't feel like putting them back together. Actually, I do. All right. Oh, last but not least, Reese Witherspoon. Last but not least, you got to sling these. I'm going to do it without the legs. How annoying. So you plug this into the underside of the fist, and you can sling it down, and you can squeeze it so that this actually hugs the forearm. And you pretty much do the same thing on the other side over here. And yeah, you can just kind of, hold up. You can wedge it in there, and I'm having difficulty doing it now. Yeah, there you go. There you go. All right, he's all coming apart. I can feel the anima is leaving. It's kind of like, all right, Bucko, you've done enough. God, I know it's just gonna like collapse and it's gonna explode in my hands. Watch, as I'm putting it together, it's gonna, then they're gonna be like, I told you, we don't want to stick together no more. Told you, boss. Told you, boss. You didn't with the love, boss. That was a Green Mile. That was a really sad movie. It was a beautiful movie, but really, really sad. All right. So that's our boy. That's our boy. And this is a great toy, despite having some of its Junkion limitations, like not enough posts to go around. But still, this is my first build with Trashmaster. And I just want to say thank you. Hope you liked the video, despite its kooky amateurness. And I know these don't have high production value, but I do think the builds are high production. And I'd like to think the combos are as well. The viewers certainly are, right? All right. See you, gang. Bye.